I'm currently on a small, deserted desert island, but every day the border around me will expand, revealing new custom desert islands to explore, including special structures on them, and my goal is to survive here for 100 days. But as always, if I step outside this border now, I'll start taking damage, so I have to get back to my starting island as quickly as possible. I started this challenge by gathering wood and making basic tools, then I went down to get some cobblestone. I went back up and crafted stone tools, then I took care of killing the mobs that spawned on this island. I placed a chest and put the rest of the tools in it, and then I went back down for some more cobblestone and made a furnace. During the first night I wanted to build my first little house, so I went down and dug up the sand needed for its construction. While digging, I had to kill a few mobs that were making things difficult, and one of the zombies even dropped a copper ingot. After coming up, I started building our first shack, cleared our island, and began building walls out of sand. With a sandstone roof, I also added a door and took care of furnishing the interior of this building. I'll add some basic items here, and now we can organize and store everything we don't need for now. With these planks, we can actually begin the process of smelting quite a few pieces of kelp. So I'll just throw this much kelp in to smelt right away. I put the kelp in to smelt so I'd have something to eat and waited until morning in our makeshift base. In the morning, as soon as the sun came up, I left the house and started by killing all the mobs that spawned overnight and noticed the first island, where a giant sphinx immediately caught my eye. While killing mobs, a witch threw a poison potion at me, so I went back home because I had half a heart and no food available, and I immediately crafted a fishing rod and started fishing. After spending the whole day fishing, I managed to gather some fish, which I put into smelt, and unexpectedly I got leather boots and a lily pad as drops. I spent the night smelting fish. I also put items in the chest, and as soon as the moon set, I sailed to the Sphinx Island, where after landing I killed the mobs left over from the night and started exploring the Sphinx. And we can go inside the Sphinx here, and what's this? It's some kind of parkour. And okay, if I fall, there's dripstone down there, so I just can't fall. No! Mobs, okay. The mobs fell, luckily, okay. I jumped to the end of these logs and saw the monsters waiting for me at the entrance, so I killed them and dug through to the treasure. Good, and finally I can come down here normally. Okay, we have a lot of loot here, and let's see what's in the chests. We have gold blocks, we have diamonds. Okay, we have some diamonds here too, we have refills, super cool, really nice. And here we have a totem, so I'm taking the totem and I'm also taking the apple. And it's enchanted! Next, I collected the item frames, from which I managed to get additional resources, thanks to which I crafted better diamond tools and gold armor. Then I collected the rest of the gold from this treasure and the wood that was on the way to it, and left the Sphinx and went to its top because I had seen something interesting near its nose earlier. So I built my way up to the very top, and then I collected ancient debris, crafted a boat, and returned to our base. Back home, I lined our house with item frames and added ancient debris as the first island's trophy. I stashed the items in the chest and went back to fishing, waiting for the next day. At sunrise, I put the fish in the furnace and set off on another trip to the Red Sand Island. I reached the island, and as I stepped onto it, I heard a massive explosion. So I headed right inside and carefully cleared out all the mobs. Then checked the vault, but it seems a mob stepped on a pressure plate and accidentally detonated the TNT, so there was absolutely nothing left for me. Since this is a red sand island, I'm going to grab one block of this red sand, and then we can start making our way out of here. There used to be a pyramid here, but everything has been completely blown to bits, and look at all that wood lying around. Totem. Fortunately for me, I had a totem that prevented my certain death in that situation. Then I hopped in the boat and began making my way back to our island, where I put the red sand in a frame to represent the Pyramid Island. I stashed the items in the chest and set off again to look for more islands. After a short sail, I spotted an island with a plane wreck right by the border, and I'd like to ask you to like this video, as this is a new channel I'm working really hard on. So I parked the boat, went onto the island, killed a slime, and then started exploring the abandoned plane. I grabbed the leather set from the armor stand, plus some iron, bread, and iron nuggets from the chest. Then I crafted a sword and gathered string from the remaining cobwebs. Next, I gathered the coal and redstone blocks the plane was made of. I crafted some torches and a bed right away, then headed back to our starter island. Back home, I went inside, placed the bed, lit up the whole island and the house, then stashed and sorted all my items in the chests. And from the sandstone island, we'll just put one block of sandstone in a frame. Then I set off on another journey, searching for yet another new island. I spotted a cactus island from afar that really stood out, so I sailed over and built my way up to it. And okay, right, there are bamboos everywhere here. I mean, not bamboos, but cacti. But it looks like a bamboo island, just made in a cactus style. So I'm definitely going to harvest some cacti. It's so satisfying when they all break like that. Yo, it all just falls down. Alright, this is super cool. I gathered even more cacti and scouted the island, but there was nothing else there, so I hopped back in the boat and headed to base. Back at base, I parked and went inside to put a cactus in a frame, symbolizing another conquered island. I decided to add another chest to the house for some additional storage space, then headed back to the Plainwreck Island to collect sandstone for the port I'm building at our home base. When I reached the Sandstone Island, I saw how many mobs were there, so I decided to approach it from underwater to gather the materials we need. Look at all these mobs, so many zombies. Alright, I really just want to dig my way in here. I hope I can make it. I made it, okay? Now we can begin the process of mining the sandstone I need for the port. I mined a few stacks of sandstone, dug back to the surface, hopped in the boat, and began the journey back home to start building our port. I returned to the island and crafted a set of sturdy wooden fences, then I started building our very first port. As it turned out, choosing wooden fences wasn't the best, so I swapped them for sandstone ones. I also added torches so mobs wouldn't bother me while building, and I made extra pillars that I connected to the ocean floor. Alright. I ran out of sandstone, so I have to go back to the Sandstone Island for a bit, so we can head over there right now. I returned to the Sandstone Island, mined enough building material, and after returning to the island, I finished the port pillars and lit up the whole construction site. And in my opinion, it looks very nice. I really like this port. I'm just missing boats, but I only have 22 wood, so I won't craft more boats, but in my opinion, it looks cool. Here we have a regular boat parking area, and here we can have a viewpoint and observe our other islands. Next, I put away unnecessary blocks and set sail to search for another island. I sailed and sailed and sailed until finally another island appeared on the horizon, this time with visible acacia trees, so I sailed up to it, built my way up and started exploring this green area. And there it is! We have a Savannah island. Look at how many animals are here. Hey, alright, that's great. We also have a lava pool, so we'll be able to go to the Nether, but before that, I'd kill all these cows, I think, because it's always some food and we'll also get more leather, which will be useful for item frames. I killed the rest of the animals on this island and got some seeds needed for the farm I planned to build, so I wouldn't have to worry about food in this world anymore. Next, I decided to destroy all the trees on this island to get wood, which will be essential for my future challenges. While destroying the trees, I noticed animals were spawning, so with small breaks for poaching, I cut down enough wood, gathered some more dirt since there wasn't any on the starting island, and headed back. I went back home to put away items and cook the food. I also crafted a shield and slept through the night in the house, then I sailed further in search of another island. Jesus! Hey, alright, this is huge! What is this? What's going on? This is probably the Wild West. Hey, alright, how good does this look? I reached this island and stepped onto it, but there was a Wild West theme there, so I immediately started exploring these houses and the area around them. Yo, how good does this look? There's even a horse. Hey, I'll be able to tame a horse. Is it already tamed by me? What's going on? But alright, I need a saddle. I entered the first house where I gathered hay blocks and even more food, as well as diamonds from the chest. Then I went upstairs where I found another chest that had a saddle and some resources. I crafted an iron hoe to destroy those hay blocks faster, as there were quite a lot of them here. I headed to the next house where on the upper floor I managed to find another chest with more iron ingots and food. I couldn't find anything else here, so I went to check the next house, where I found another batch of hay blocks, so I didn't have to worry about food anymore. On the upper floor, I found chests again, which classically contained even more food and iron, plus a few cobwebs. Another house and another chest upstairs where I found even more iron and food. And now it's time to loot another house, so let's head into this one. And here's, okay, some kind of chest. How many potions are in here? Hey, okay, I don't know which potions to take at all. Poison, no. Slow falling's not needed. Give me strength. Jump boost, regeneration. I don't need instant damage. I took speed here. Water breathing might be useful, even more food. 2 refills! Hey, okay, this is just like some kind of bar or something like that. At least that's what it looks like a little bar where you can sit down. And there are even more tables here, so that's great because we have tons of potions. Next, I went upstairs, collected a large amount of iron, extra food, and 2 refills, which were in 3 chests I found on the upper floor. But finally, it was time for the biggest house in this Wild West, so I went downstairs and headed straight for it. I went inside and saw this. How many chests are here? Okay. Please, let there be something in every chest. Okay, we have 11 diamonds in total collected from here. Here we have more iron. Even more iron. Here we have even more diamonds. Okay, so many diamonds. I gathered the rest of the chests, from which I managed to get 40 diamonds, so I immediately started crafting a diamond set and went to the top of this building. However, it turned out that all I found upstairs were cobwebs, which I collected enough of to have exactly one stack, and then I went outside. I saddled a horse, which I decided to name Marion, and took his armor as an item representing this island, which I'll put in an item frame. So, from the Wild West Island, we'll take this one horse armor because it'll be useful, and we'll leave this little horse here and I'll name you Marion, but I won't, or actually I can take you to our house. Actually, it is possible for me to take you, so we'll sail away with our horse Marion. After a few attempts, it turned out that horses can't travel in a boat, so I tied him with a lead and sailed towards the house, pulling him behind me. When we got back, I untied Marion from the lead and put the items in the chest. And right, we should go ahead and put this item away, and I almost forgot about it. But from the Acacia Island, I'd also like to put away a single block of acacia log. And with that, we've already visited 6 islands, and there are still quite a few left. Next, I collected the cooked food and filled a bucket with water. Then I slept through the night and set off on another expedition, which, as it turned out later, was even further. I sailed for quite a long time, slowly losing hope, but finally after a dozen or so minutes I managed to find another island. This time it was an island with a huge cross, which was easily visible from a distance. So I sailed to it, and after getting out of the boat I stepped onto it. And let's see what's here, it's a graveyard. Oh no, hey, okay, that's actually a bit sad. From what I can see, the border is already here, we have bone blocks. I'll definitely take one bone block with me as a souvenir from the graveyard island. What does it even look like? And there's another island over there. Yo! But before we head to the next island, I wanted to explore this one thoroughly. I killed a slime and started digging up a grave where I found chests containing bones which I preferred not to take given the place I was in. However, it wasn't just bones in those chests. I got diamonds, emeralds, and a huge amount of refills. And on top of that, I managed to get diamond armor for Marion, who was waiting for me at home. And okay, we'll just gather all of these valuable ores, and we've actually dug up the whole graveyard, and it looks absolutely incredible now, but we have one bone block as a souvenir. And now we can sail to that neighboring island since it's conveniently located right here next to us. So I got back in the boat and reached this island with a huge pyramid that had gold blocks in the corners, so I started our exploration by carefully collecting every single one of them. Then I went up and there were more gold blocks waiting for me, so I gathered them and noticed that unfortunately part of the pyramid and the island were still out of bounds, but that didn't stop me. So I ate a refill and went out of bounds, where I collected the rest of the gold block corners. And I quickly ran to the last corner where I collected the rest of the gold blocks, and then I went inside this huge pyramid. So we'll go inside and see if there's anything in there. It looks a bit like a maze, but oh, we have a okay, a pseudo chest, alright. How many mobs are there? Okay, I didn't expect that, but to get rid of them, I destroyed the blocks at the entrance and started killing them one by one. I put on a shield to make it easier to fight the skeletons, cleared out the rest of the mobs, and kept digging out the entrance to the pyramid. Some endermen also spawned, which I caught in the boat and killed, but no pearls dropped for me. As I went further, the monsters just kept coming, so I adopted a new tactic to fight them, which was waiting for a creeper to approach. Blocking the damage with my shield, I let them explode to kill the mobs, and thanks to that, I finally managed to get to the chest. And here we have, okay, we have some resources, so cool, we have even more refills and even more diamonds. Then I guess there'll be a chest here too, but there's nothing in it, so we'll skip it. After looting the whole pyramid, I left and started heading back home, and as a representative block, I chose a gold block since I couldn't complain about a shortage of those. After returning, I slept through the night and put the items away, and then I wanted to start rebuilding our house, but before that... And now from the island, we'll put away a gold block and a bone block. So now I'd really like to just tear down this whole house. So we'll take one diamond, and then we can dig up the entire house right here. Next, to make this reconstruction easier, I put the item frames and the items that were in them into a separate chest. And then I started building our new pyramid, but I didn't have enough blocks to do it, so I sailed to the Red Sand Island and collected blocks from the pyramid that was there. Once I dug up enough building blocks, I returned to my island and officially started building our pyramid. I started by expanding our initial island, then I worked on the skeleton of the pyramid, and then I filled in the rest of its walls. Thanks to that, after a while, our pyramid was ready. And so this is how our pyramid officially looks. And inside, of course, we'll move our things now. But in my opinion, it looks really cool. The only thing I'm missing is adding blue terracotta to the very top, because it's the only blue terracotta that probably exists here in this world. Ultimately, I swapped the blue terracotta for a gold block since I had plenty of it, and I began to set up the inside of this pyramid. I put down a few chests, moved the crafting table and the bed, and added item frames with items from the island onto these walls. And in the order we discovered these islands, I'll add all the blocks we gathered, and honestly, it might be good to have even more of these item frames. I crafted some more item frames which I placed next to the current ones and got ready for my next journey. After sorting the items in my inventory, I left our pyramid right away and hopped into the boat to cross the ocean in search of the next island. I sailed and sailed and sailed until I spotted a huge mountain made of Mesa blocks, which turned out to be another island, so I headed over and jumped onto it. And let's see if there's anything here. Okay, and we even have a mine shaft here, so that's actually cool. We've got our first chest, so let's go ahead and loot it. And we have a name tag. We've got a bit more iron, some seeds, so that's cool. I took a further look around this shaft, but there was nothing else here, so I built my way up, and I headed towards the second shaft where I found another chest. And inside, let's see, we have a second enchanted apple. Okay, we have 2 god apples now. So that's pretty cool. I'll take some seeds too because they might always come in handy. And let's see if there's anything else on the other side. Nothing there because this is where it ends. Then I noticed that night was falling, so I quickly checked the other side of this part of the mine. And after making sure there was nothing else here, I jumped down and ran to the water where I hopped in the boat and sailed back to our pyramid. Alright, we can go to sleep quickly now, and of course we'll put away the terracotta as a souvenir, and now we'll head out on an even longer journey. After a quick stop at the base, I hopped back into the boat and sailed even further in search of more islands. After sailing for a while, I was losing hope of finding anything in this direction until this appeared before my eyes. Okay, how huge is this? What? Okay, we've got some massive castle here from what I can see. So massive. It looks so good! I jumped onto the island and immediately the amount of dead bushes on this island caught my eye. I already knew then that they would be the item to represent this island in our collection. Without wasting any more time, I set about exploring this massive castle. I managed to find the entrance and then the first few chests. We found some more chests, which is very nice. Let's see if there's anything inside. We have 2 ender pearls. Okay, we've got it. We have a bundle. I don't even know how to use this bundle, but we can put our ender pearls in it. Oh, it works that simply. Well, okay. And on top of that, we have even more. Even more cookies, actually, so that's cool. We have some iron. Even more iron. Even more iron, some copper. I don't really need copper, but I'll always pick it up. We have some steaks, more iron, even more iron, copper. Alright, we've looted all the chests, so we can head upstairs now. After going upstairs, I was afraid I'd run into a bunch of mobs, but luckily for me, no one was waiting there. To make things even better, I quickly found the first chest, which had food in it, and then more with even more food. The third chest turned out to be better because I found gold, copper, and most importantly, a totem, which I immediately put in my offhand and moved on to the next chests. Besides the food which they were full of, I also found a netherite ingot and a large amount of ender pearls. I thought that was all I could expect from this castle. But the last chest proved me wrong. And we have the last chest, and we have a mace. Okay, we have a mace. I'm not good with the mace, but it's actually cool that we got it. There's always a plus side. I managed to explore this whole castle, but something that I think was worth noting was how good it looked from the outside. After a few last looks at the castle, I crafted shears to collect a dead bush, then hopped into the boat and set off on a further journey in search of the last island. What's this? Okay, it looks like there is another island with a huge building on it. So I'll just park the boat right here. When I found the next island, there were a lot of desert wells on it, which are super rare in Minecraft. But I headed for the big Coliseum, which was really impressive. I went inside and in the center of this building I saw a chest, so I ran up to it to check it out. And from what I can see, this is some kind of huge Coliseum. It looks super nice. This is already the border, but we have 4 ingots, so that's actually cool. Let's collect them. And I don't think there's anything else here unless there's something on the edges of this Coliseum. I built my way up and managed to find another chest where there was some bread and armor, but they weren't better than my diamond ones, so I left them in that chest. After walking around the upper floor, I spotted one more chest that was hidden behind a small wall. We have a trident. Okay, that's actually super cool. I'm also collecting this food. Going down, I noticed another chest where I found 4 more ingots and a diamond chest plate, which I swapped with mine because it wasn't damaged. The last chest on this island held some iron. I left the Coliseum and started wondering which block would be suitable to represent this island. I thought about taking water because there are also these mini wells here that actually have water in them. So I collected a bucket of water from this well, then hopped into the boat and started heading back to our little house. The way was long, but the thought that we'd soon be heading to the Nether made the journey go faster. Alright, we can park the vehicle right here, and now we'll put away the dead bush and the bucket of water. And so, we've finished all the islands, and I think we'll head to the Nether now. I put the items in the chests, and took the potions I'd managed to obtain earlier. Then I sailed to the Acacia Island to collect obsidian from the lava I'd seen earlier, so I could build a Nether portal. So I mined 10 blocks of obsidian and set off on the way back. After returning home, I crafted a flint and steel and started looking for a place for the Nether portal. Alright, we can officially light the portal and let's see what it looks like there. So I hope it'll be cool and watch out. Okay, there's a lot of striders and we're on some island and it's a soul sand island mixed with sand from what I can see. I took some soul sand as a souvenir for an item frame and started looking for islands in this hellish world. So I started building in one direction, but after a moment I realized I wouldn't find anything there, so I chose another direction, which turned out to be right because soon I saw the first island. And okay, we're here. Okay, there are a few of these guys that wouldn't hit us. Plus, we have some piglins. And whoa, what a lava pool this is. Okay, we'll take this lava. Because as a little souvenir, I'm thinking whether to take the lava or maybe actually this piece of wood. Maybe this wood since it's brand new, and by the way, maybe I'd go back to the base. No, my bridge started burning. Unfortunately, I forgot that planks burn in the Nether, so I quickly rebuilt the bridge to go back to the base for a moment for gold that I needed for trading. While I was at it, I put the soul sand and burnt wood in an item frame and took all the gold. Then I crafted golden boots and returned to the Nether, where I started building in another direction, where soon I saw another island. Then we're on another island, so let's see if there's anything here. And there's a bastion. Okay, we have our first bastion, so that's really cool. Plus, we have a lot of red sand here and also magma, so I'll take 1 magma as a souvenir, and now we can build our way up to the bastion. However, the bastion wasn't my main goal. I needed piglins more given the amount of gold I had with me, so I went inside and started looking for piglins. I managed to find a chest that had a diamond silk touch pickaxe, so I took it and ran to the second room in search of more piglins. It would be good to kill this brute, and there's probably another one here from what I saw. Or not. Yeah, there's one. Although I don't think I want to loot this chest. I have gold blocks. Well, I have regular gold, so I don't really need more gold. I just need to do some trading. And if I open this chest, all the piglins will be mad at me, so maybe I'll skip it and just start trading with the piglins here. So I found a place where there were the most of them and started trading with them, mainly waiting for them to give me pearls. I prepared a room for them and waited for them to drop our desired pearls. I didn't have to wait long with that much gold, so after a moment I noticed that I managed to get as many as 20 pearls. So I left that building and started heading back towards the portal. By the way, Enderite spawned. Look how many there are. What a bombardment I'm suddenly getting. Okay, maybe I'll just head back across my bridge. And I hope these ghasts will stop focusing on me. Okay, they stopped. Right, my little horse? Okay, why did my horse come through here? I forgot that he can also come in here. Okay, little horse, I invite you here to come inside. I pushed Machik into the portal and started building further in search of more islands, using one of my previous bridges that I had abandoned. I kept building and building and building, and then I saw this. And there it is. Okay, I see something. Okay, what is this? What even is this? Okay, I have no idea. And soon we'll build across with some other blocks. Like using acacia wood, for instance. I built up to this structure, stepped onto it, and there I saw a ton of magma cubes and plenty of gold in the middle of the platform. picked it up as an item representing this island and started heading for the exit. And we can head out from here. And it was something like, I don't know, some kind of abandoned oasis, something like that. So it's pretty cool, it looks nice. I don't know exactly what it is, but I took 1 gold block as a souvenir. So I went further and started building another bridge this time, but from the island with burnt trees where I gathered wood blocks. And I started building the bridge, for which I used all the blocks I had in my inventory. However, as it turned out when I turned around, it was enough blocks because I was already on that island. Okay, we have some basalt biome here, so we can basically go up. But, whoa! Okay, fire resistance potion. Whoa, I fell into some lava. Okay, I don't know where I am. And I don't know, maybe it's a volcano actually. It looks a bit like a volcano. I'd have to move further away to see. There's a chest. Wait, what? How many pearls? Okay, well I already have pearls, but we have even more pearls. We have a ton of refills. Okay, I'll take this. I feel a bit illegal taking this. And we also have fire resistance potions, so that's cool. I can take maybe 1. Fortunately, I also had a fire resistance potion which saved me in this situation. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have found this chest at the bottom of this lava pool. Then I gathered some blocks to continue searching for more islands. So I went back to the island with burnt trees where I started building in another direction, and after a while I saw another island. And alright, we're on another island and we have some big chests, so we'll see in a moment if there's anything cool in it. I just wish those magma cubes wouldn't hit me. Okay. We have more pearls. Okay, I don't know, I have so many pearls. I don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm not even taking the gold because I don't really need gold. Even more refills. And more god apples, okay? I have 3 god apples and 34 refills, right? The amount of golden apples I had in this place was super cool, and before returning to base, I also picked up some honey as a souvenir and started heading back towards the portal where I remembered I hadn't taken any item from the previous volcano island. But I'll fill a bucket with lava too, so it's like it's from the volcano island. So we'll take some lava and that'll be for the volcano island, and let's go look for the next island. I went back to the magma cube island to look around for more islands and saw an island that I immediately started building towards. After a while, it turned out to be an island with a nether pyramid defended by a ton of magma cubes. So I jumped down and started exploring it, so I'll just go in here. Let's eat a refill maybe. Okay buddy, go away. We have to dig through here. And there it is. There are blazes and nether warts. Man, that looks funny. Okay, good. That actually looks cool. Now we're taking the blaze rods. Unfortunately, my totem popped, but I quickly gathered 8 blazes, then left the pyramid and started heading back to the portal. But after a moment, I realized I hadn't taken any block from this island, so I went back and chose nether bricks as a souvenir, then returned to the portal and then to the base, where I started putting items into item frames. And we can put this away, this item, that one, and these other things. And so we finished the nether, so I can break this. So we've actually finished the overworld too, so I can break this as well. Then I started prepping for the dragon, so I put items in chests and crafted a bow. Then I also crafted Eyes of Ender and threw one right away to know which way to go. I set sail towards that pearl, and after a long while of traveling I found this. Whoa! And look at that, we have another island here. Okay, I actually haven't been to this island yet, so we can definitely stop by while we're at it and see if there's anything useful here. So now we can park the boat right here and let's see if there's anything interesting on it. It turned out there was nothing interesting on this skipped island, so I just gathered one single hay bale as a small souvenir and went back to searching for the stronghold. After a little while, it turned out the stronghold is actually located somewhere near the Coliseum island, so I sailed up to it and got out of the boat to start digging under the Coliseum. And okay, we're in the stronghold, what's up? Okay, I'll just kill this silverfish. And of course we can fill in the whole portal. And let's see what the end looks like. So, the whole end seems to be made of sand from what I see, so I'll maybe throw a pearl there. And what the? Hey, okay, look at those pillars. Okay, the pillars are totally awesome. Look at how the pillars look. Okay, I really like the pillars. This end was quite surprising, but something caught my attention, especially those pillars and the fact that I had to test them. Okay, I'm just curious if I break this cactus now. Yes! What's going on? I'm lagging so much. Look how many cacti fell! Well, okay, so we can actually destroy this crystal now, and nicely done, and do the same with each one. Just like with that crystal, I did it with the next ones and drank a potion and ate a notch apple. After destroying them all, I just had to finish off the dragon and take the egg, which I put away in our base.